Hello, and welcome to Leading Inspired Learning, a Strive podcast. Welcome to Leading Inspired Learning, a Strive podcast. Today, I'm so excited to finally welcome Erika Murray into the podcast studio. So welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me.
It has taken me all of, 3 years at this point to get you on the podcast?
Yeah, probably since the day it was announced.
Yeah, pretty sure.
I don't know, I'm just Erika. I didn't know if I had a space for a conversation, so I feel like
there's a lot to unpack there. Yeah. That's starting off heavy.
I know, right? Oh, sorry.
Oh God, don't start there. No, but tell us about you.
Oh, geez. What is there to know about me, y'all? My name is Erika Murray. I am a half of the leadership team at Kilworth Children's Center in Kamoka. I am the program supervisor there. I'm a registered early childhood educator. And I am newly the chair of the Middlesex Professional Learning Committee. Mm-hmm. I've been in the field for 15.
You don't have to say a number. It's okay.
I will say the number. It's 15.
Yeah.
15 years. Yeah, that's my professional life.
You have a dog?
I do have a dog. I have a husband and a dog. Yep, that's our little family.
Yeah.
Leonard, he is 100 pounds of no personal space.
Good.
That's what I like to call him.
Yeah.
So bulldog.
And you not only work in Middlesex County, you live in Middlesex County too.
I do. Middlesex lives and breathes in these veins.
Yes.
I tried to leave once and it didn't work out very well. So quickly turned around and came back home. I'm from Strathroy, born and raised, live there currently.
Yeah.
Very close to home. I have elderly parents, so I like to stick by.
Yeah. You're very much daddy's girl.
We were just talking
about this. Yeah.
Yes, and it is known in my family, unfortunately. Yeah. But we like to tease my dad about it all the time. So
yeah.
I am the youngest. Very interesting family dynamic. Those that do know me, I'm from a second marriage. Yeah. My older brothers are old enough to be my parents' age. My dad just turned 83 on Tuesday. So wow.
Yeah. And with your dad's inspiration are bringing back your roots and trying some new cooking. Mm-hmm, and you didn't bring me any rude, but whatever.
Yeah. So my dad is from San Miguel in the Azores Islands. And I feel like Allie's putting me on the spot because you know all these intimate details.
Sorry.
That's okay. My dad is,
some flavor and some color to the Erika Murray of the world. Yeah.
My dad's from San Miguel, Azores Islands. My mom is not. My mom is from Canada. She was born here. My dad immigrated to Canada when he was 14 years old. Mm. And I very much identify with the culture of Portuguese, European Portuguese. I didn't grow up speaking Portuguese. It's something that I'm trying in my adult life. It's a slow process, but we're getting there. Yeah. But in part of that, I wanted to learn how to cook authentic cultural food from San Miguel. So I have a small network of friends and family that are supporting me in my journey. My neighbors are Portuguese and they love when I bring over any and all sorts of goodies. But no, I'm sorry, I did not bring any bread.
Yeah, rude.
Or desserts.
You better not show up empty-handed next time, I swear.
Here's all the things I've learned. Yeah, so I'm working away on that and keeping busy. We just talked about how we're we're working on renovating our home. And
a lot going on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But you are maybe famously now known for a little good morning train to rethink.
Yeah, that was me.
So for the 200 folks that were there, Erika's not a new face.
No.
You probably tried not to make eye contact with her because you didn't want to be called up next to the good morning train, but you killed it. You did an awesome job.
Thank you. Yeah, I wanted it to be collaborative. I didn't want to be the one that's picking out everybody from the crowd because I did call a few people out. I walked by a table of educators from our center. I was like, don't make eye contact, right? But I think moments like that are really cool where you can share your passions and what you enjoy. Anybody that works at our center knows they could probably hear me singing from anywhere. So yeah, no, it was really fun. It was a cool experience, like getting out of my comfort zone clearly in 2026.
Look at you go. Yeah, podcast and speaking in front of 200 people.
Yeah.
Singing in front of 200 people.
Singing. But I heard someone say that they didn't know that I could sing.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, no, I'm full of surprises. So
I love that about you.
Yeah.
You mentioned passion, and I have to say you are probably one of the most passionate educators that I have met in my career.
Oh.
You are just so invested. You care so deeply.
Almost to a fault sometimes.
Yeah,
like,
maybe.
I will fully admit that, like to a fault sometimes.
Yeah. And I think that is a beautiful thing. And I do think that that's true for most educators. And I haven't met everybody, so I don't. Mm-hmm. But that we get into this line of work because we care. Mm-hmm. We care about children. We care about their families. We care. Caring is the core of what we do.
Literally, yeah.
Literally. So I want to applaud you for that.
Thank you.
You have, not only are you passionate and dedicated to the children and families and the work that you do, but a lot of that is professional learning.
It is.
You are probably the biggest advocate.
I feel like, yeah, I could not, for the most part. Yeah. I feel like that could be a true statement.
Yeah. I think what you have done so beautifully, and hopefully you're going to share this story, is really created a culture of professional learning in your center. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of that has been to your credit because you engage in professional learning regularly. You have, as long as I've known you, you have engaged in professional learning. And so you've role modeled that for your colleagues, for your coworkers, for your center, now that you're the supervisor. And it radiates from you.
Yeah, I would like to take the credit for that, but I will say that truly came from having a great mentor when I started in the field. Little backstory, maybe some people don't know this, but this wasn't the career path I had originally. You know, people grow up, they're like, oh, I want to be a teacher. I want to be a firefighter. I wanted to be a photographer.
Okay.
Yeah, so I did that career path. I wasn't feeling it.
Did you go to school for it?
I did. I went to Fanshawe.
Yeah.
I was in a program called Multimedia Design and Production.
Cool.
Yes, I can code a mean website. I was really hacking into those 2006 MySpace, MySpace HTML coding, all that stuff. I was like, oh yeah, this is it. But being a small town, I knew that I would have to leave, and coming from a deeply rooted sense of family, I didn't want to do that. So yeah, I went to careers at Fanshawe, and I was like, hey, I'm just stuck. I don't not want to be in school.
Yeah.
I want to do something with my life. Yeah. And what is there? So they suggested human services.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, okay. So I'm reading all the options available to me. And I was like, hey, I have so many nieces and nephews. Maybe I could do early childhood education. Right. So that's kind of what brought me into this field. The first mentor I had made me fall in love with it. And I will shout her out till the end of the world.
Yes.
I'm not going to call her out by name because I didn't ask her if I could say it, but it was my very first student placement.
Okay.
She was really great. And I owe a lot of my foundational understanding, success, passion for the field to her. She was invited to my wedding. She's still an active person in my life. I see her all the time. So she's great.
I love that.
Yeah. And then I've met through professional learning, a wonderful network of people along the last 15 years, yourself included. So
just one of the many.
Just one of the many. Yes.
Well, and I think that is also what is so great is a lot of times coming to professional learning means people are out of their comfort zones. They may not be sitting at a table with friends from their center, or they may be the only one interested in a PL that they're attending. And you kind of have to go in knowing nobody, but that's where the magic happens.
It does. You kind of got to put yourself out there a little bit.
It's hard to do. It's a hard skill.
It is very hard skill. I can distinctly remember one winter rethink because I am a winter rethink lover.
Yeah, you are.
I was asked to be I think it was the first year I was asked to be a table facilitator, and I was like, oh, okay. And I'm eager, right at the front row. And I remember posting like a story with like remember the Celine Dion All By Myself?
Yes.
Because nobody came and sat at my table. And I was like, this is like, and then the table was full and I didn't know a single person there. And I was like, okay, like I can do this. So yeah, you do kind of have to put yourself out a little bit to be comfortable.
And I think that's where, you can only learn so much if you're only staying in your little bubble with your educators at your center or within your organization. I think having a real like complexity and multitude of ideas, thought processes, perspectives really is where that opens us up. There is not, yes, there's ministry rules. There's no one right way to do a lot of things.
I'm glad you mentioned that.
Right?
Yeah. Because I hear a lot of times because the overarching theme of today is leadership supporting professionals in professional learning and educators in professional learning. Everybody, and I might burst a few bubbles when I say this, has a professional responsibility to attend professional learning and engage in professional learning and reflective practice.
Mic drop. The first of many, I'm thinking.
So when I hear often in conversations about, well, how do you get people to attend professional learning? Which I'll get to how we as leadership can do that. But if you're looking at it as a professional in the field, a registered early childhood educator, you look at our regulatory body and you look at the College of Early Childhood Educators. Code of Ethics and Standards of Practice. Standard number 4.
Oh, specifically.
Erika knows. Very specific. Professionalism.
Yeah.
And in our code of ethics, we have a responsibility to our profession and to our colleagues. Those two things directly speak on professional learning. So at the like highest level, you're choosing this career, you're choosing to be registered with the College of Early Childhood Educators. That comes with these professional responsibilities. And then the regulatory body, it's actually regulation, staff training, and development.
Yeah.
Right. So what systems, what processes do you have to support those educators? Because yes, you can look at it face value. Educators need to read policies and procedures before they start. They need to know these foundational things before they start. But then the and, ... and, right? And what else? Right? Because I say this and I joke about this with some educators that have been in field for a really long time and said, if we never changed our practice, if we never engaged in professional learning, we'd still be taping mittens to snowsuits because that was a practice years when I was in childcare as a wee tyke, right?
Yep.
So if we never engaged in reflective practice, in questioning our theories, what is quality care, what is best practices, we would be not moving forward in any sort of direction.
No.
So yeah, I think that's like my biggest like hot take. And when I get like kind of pushback, because you're always going to get pushback.
Of course.
Like, so it's actually your professional responsibility.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that kind of gets overlooked because we're all busy. I'm not negating that we are in a staffing crisis, that everybody's burnt out.
Yep.
Especially small organizations, their leadership are wearing 17 hats.
Yep.
Going from a meeting to helping an educator navigate conflict resolution to covering
getting
programs,
snack ready,
snack ready, serving lunch.
Yep.
Like, I'm not saying that that's never my reality because it is too.
Yeah.
But yeah, at some point you have to do some own self-reflection and be like, yeah, you signed up for it, right?
Yeah.
Like, I know it sounds a little, I'm going to be might be a little controversial on me, but
I love it.
You did sign up for it, right?
Okay. So what about like the non-RECEs that we have employed that aren't required based on the College of BC?
But that's where the regulation falls into play. You're trying to get me there. But.
I'm not.
But that's where the regulation falls into play.
I'm demonstrating some of the pushback you may receive. I'm not an REC. I don't have to do that.
Yeah, but we do have a regulatory body, right? So if you're a non-REC, do you as a leader have policies in place to support those we call them ECAs at our center,
Okay.
Early childhood assistants,
Yeah.
with understanding the CCEYA, understanding what a regulation is versus what a policy is versus an inherited practice, right? So that's the challenging part, is like that. I hear that, like, but what's the buy-in all the time, right? So for me, you mentioned it earlier, it's the way that you as a leader engage and speak about professional learning to your team and with your team. That's the biggest thing, I think, because it's kind of like a practice what you preach.
Totally.
Right. So if I'm sitting there like, I had this meeting after work, or I had to do this professional learning, like, do you think that's going to motivate, quote unquote, your team to also engage in that thing? Everybody's lives are busy, I know. And it's challenging, but if you change just your own outlook on professional learning, because I'm not perfect. I would say I've made mistakes as a leader a million times over. But that's what helped me shift my practice to be like, okay, this is what I need to focus on this year. I am like a quick reactor versus being proactive. So from the people who are organizing a lot of PL in our region, not the only, but a lot of it, when I see leaders come with their teams to PL, I see such a difference than when folks come on their own, just because they know that their leader is receiving the same information they are, and so that they can continue those conversations. So one of the sessions I've done in the past is Extreme Makeover. And one of the things is, I talk a lot. I personally hate fluorescent lights. Oh, I hate them. I have a lamp in my office.
We have lamps everywhere. Like, we don't turn them on in our office. And in programs, when I was a preschool educator, I noticed the difference that the bright fluorescence made versus when they were off and we just had lamps and natural light happening. And so that's one of the things we talked about in Extreme Makeover. And a lot of the educators, well, yeah, but my director makes us turn the lights on. Well, it's a ministry rule.
Oh, it's my favorite. I love that. Show me where.
Show me where.
Show me where in the regulation it says that.
Yeah.
Right.
That's my fave.
Because that's another misunderstanding. I don't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, no.
Is the one thing I learned from one of our PAs from the ministry is that the licensing manual is like guidance.
Yeah.
The regulation is the law.
Yeah.
Right. So what does it say in the regulations? The guidance may say this, but what does the regulation say?
Yeah.
So yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
So that's what the ministry said.
Exactly.
Did they?
Yeah. And so when a leader is there with their team member and they're hearing this same potential messaging, I'm using the lighting as the example, the same messaging about turning off the fluorescents, their leader's there with them to say like, let's have a conversation about that. Is there a way we could implement it? Do we have a room that's particularly dark that we may need to add some more lamps in to make sure that it's, visibly we're able to supervise? Are there ways we can troubleshoot? And if you're doing that with your leader, it makes going back and implementing change to practice that much easier. And this is, a surface level, if you will, example. But when I see leaders there with their teams, hearing the same thing, having those critical conversations on the spot makes the rest of it go so much smoother. Yeah.
Well, not even just having them on the spot, but just having critical conversations about professional learning. That's why I said earlier, the conversations you're having, how you're talking about professional learning with your team, right? Because there's a big difference. And this is like a micro practice that like I would encourage some leaders to try. Kind of know when your team is doing professional learning or if they're doing professional learning, and follow up. Yeah. Follow up. So be like, instead of saying, how was that? How was the PL?
Yeah.
We have a negative brain bias. Yes. So automatically, did you like that PL?
Yeah.
If you're a negative brain bias, oh yeah, of course I did. Or,
yeah, it's fine.
That was okay. The presenter was kind of dry. It was a PowerPoint presentation, blah, 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 blah. Right. But if you change it to, what was your like biggest takeaway from what's something that you learned?
Yeah.
Right. Changing and then following up with how will you implement that into your practice? Right. How does that look? How does that theory live in your space?
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say is like an important part of, because you can do professional learning to check a box.
Totally.
Lots
of people do.
Yep. oh,
I'm required to do 6 a year. Can you sign off on this? We still get it all the time.
Crazy.
Yep.
Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
There's no requirement if you're going to go back up to the college,
right?
There's no requirement on how much professional learning we have to do. No. You should be doing it. That's the key takeaway.
Yep.
But yeah, I have that at our center too. You have to have some backing policy.
Yeah.
But like make it realistic to your workspace. Make it realistic to your team.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, you can do professional learning to check a box, but if there's no follow-up, there's no implementation into practice, like putting that theory into practice, then what's the point of going? Right. Or what's the point of engaging in it?
And it makes me think of too, when we're trying to quantify professional learning, in old school, it has been like, go to this workshop or this many workshops a year, and that's the only way to get professional learning.
Oh, I was started in the raise the bar age.
Yes, exactly. The raise the bar generation, where and this was like viewed as the only way to engage in professional learning. And we know that the College of BC has that web. Oh yeah, we know it's not true. We know listening to Eric and I yap today is professional learning on a podcast, reading a blog. Sometimes Instagram posts can be really motivational and inspirational. There are so many ways, having a professional conversation with a friend, there's so many ways to engage in professional learning.
Yeah. So if leaders look at professional learning with flexibility, you're going to have more engagement, I find. So that was a big takeaway from like our team was our policy as is one out of house workshop hosted by Strive. That is what is in our policy. And then 2 additional that are chosen by me. That generally turns into Winter Rethink. Our team goes to Winter Rethink as a team. And 1 other, but we do pre-L at every staff meeting. So then it kind of just comes like, I'm almost like, sounds really bad, but I'm almost like shoving professional learning in their faces a little bit. But yeah, that flexibility, like that's their bare minimum of what they're required to do. But then I'm like, you know what? Most people, unless you're very fortunate, have at least 20 to half an hour commute to work every day. I know I do.
Especially Middlesex County.
Yep. A podcast episode that's an hour long. Yeah. That's your car ride home and back. Yeah. If you as a leader are saying like that is professional learning, and you should be, your educators would probably be more, I'm already doing that. I'm not taking additional time out, because that's the problem is professional learning, as much as we don't want it to be, is seen as addition to rather than an extension of the work that we do. So I would say like baseline, be a little bit more flexible on what professional learning looks like for your team. I feel like I have had more changes in my practice actually sitting in this office with other professionals, if I'm being honest with you, or sitting in that room across the hall, that have changed my practice over sitting in a webinar, sitting in a virtual space.
And the other piece that comes to mind with that too is the diversity of professional learning you're consuming. I by no means think Strive is the end all be all professional. I think we do a lot of great stuff.
No offense.
No, we are not it. We do tons of awesome stuff. But we are not the only. And if you're in an organization that does a lot of internal professional learning.
If you're fortunate enough to be a part of an organization like that.
Exactly. A lot of the large multi-sites have a lot of internal professional learning. However, what other perspectives are you missing? Organizations have their own mission, vision, values. They have their own curriculums in some case. They have their own approaches to things. Again, that's not the end all be all. Just like Strive isn't the end all be all. That's not the end all be all. How are we diversifying our professional learning so that we're hearing not just multiple perspectives from London, Middlesex, Elgin, and whoever we bring in, but multiple perspectives beyond that?
Well, yeah, you bring an added lived experience and a professional experience when you're going outside of the reach of your organization. Yeah.
I think that's important too.
Yeah, no, for sure. I agree.
So you have really worked hard to create a culture of professional learning in your center.
Yeah.
How?
Well, like I said earlier, I kind of shove professional learning. I don't want to say like a force feed professional learning, but I do make professional learning accessible. Probably in a nauseam. I'm sure some of my educators would like the educators at our center would be like, oh, Erika, again with the professional learning. But I feel like if it's not accessible, no matter what it is, you're not having conversations, then there's that lack of motivation.
Yeah. So give an example of how you've adopted some of your staff meetings based on events that they've been interested in.
Yeah. So actually every single staff meeting we have finishes off with professional learning. So we are a team that gets together after the center closes. We value coming together as a collective team. So they're once a month. Heather and I try to keep it at an hour and a half, respecting everybody's time. And we'll go over we need to talk about these things, regulations, policy changes, XYZ. And then there's always professional learning. So it starts with like an open floor kind of format, and PL sharing is what we call it. So have you attended professional learning in the last month? And if so, what was your aha moment? How could you implement it to your practice? So it gets the educators talking about the things that they're going. So it's not just that, okay, did PL, right? And sometimes those conversations have inspired other educators to say like, hey, I'm struggling with this. How could we fix that? We've had conversations around that. And then the part that I bring in is either, we talk about things that I noticed that the team were interested in, things that they've brought forward, or we just have fun.
What? Fun?
Fun?
Right? A job with children?
Yeah.
You have fun?
Yeah.
Shocking.
So we played games. Last year we did a lot of Kahoots. We really focused on ministry compliance. We did like a run through of all the required regulations and required policies around regulations, and we adapted them to our team. And a policy that was written 20 years ago doesn't work for the team that's currently working in the center. So what could we do? Gave a little bit of ownership into the policies to the team too. Because we have the ability to do that. We are a single site.
Yeah.
I know that might be harder in larger organizations. And then, we play games. I
love that because how many times have you started a job and then sat and read a policy manual for like your first 2 days and you're like, I don't actually remember anything that was written.
Yeah.
Having that buy-in from the educators of like co-constructing the policy manual and also really deeply understanding the regulations. Because I think we're not taught that in depth about the ministry regulations.
Yeah. Coming from someone that was put into leadership young, I was like, what do you mean? Like, I know the CCAA. Well, what do you mean?
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. Like, I think there's a lot of work to be done so that there is that deeper understanding in the team of what exactly is a regulation? What does that mean? What does it say in the licensing manual when it's like a recommend versus
the must, but the should,
yes,
but the may. Yeah.
So like I just, there's so much to learn from that. And that was an activity you did together as a team.
Yeah. So like we broke it down into Kahoot. We do prizes. We're fortunate that we have room in our budget for those sorts of things. I understand that not everybody has the affordability to do that. We do have protected time for program development for our educators. That is a hill I will die on. And then we also come up with ways that benefit the educators that are not just compensation from a financial perspective, right? So we consider how much professional learning they're attending when it comes to performance appraisals, because that works towards their merit increases. Another thing that we've started this year is actually not doing staff meetings in a quote unquote traditional sense where we all get together and like, how many staff meetings have we sat through in our career where we're like, this could have been an email. Right. So we're doing more of like, hey, this opportunity, a lot of our team wants to attend it. Could we have some wiggle room? So instead of a traditional staff meeting, here's a webinar that's prescribed, but prescribed to with intention to what's going on in our programs. You have the whole month to complete it. Hand it in on this day. Now, mind you, I still have the last minute hand-ins,
Yes.
and then my inner self is like, oh my gosh, I don't want to have to get someone in trouble because I didn't fill this out, right? But you know, they all came to my desk that the day it was due. It was there, right?
Yep.
So, yeah, and like we're doing more like wellness stuff with the team, because the reality is, if you're filling from an empty cup,
yep,
right,
yep. Which is, it's a sad reality of our profession. And it's a sad reality that I don't think, like, we haven't escaped it in the last 10 years. We're not going to escape it anytime soon. The reality is true. We don't get paid enough. There isn't enough time. There isn't the opportunity staffing wise to do professional learning during work hours. A lot of it is evenings. Like, it just, these are the harsh realities. Again, I've talked about Allie's dream world a lot, where that wouldn't be the case. We would have intentional professional learning happening throughout the day. There'd be coverage in place for folks to be able to cover it at their center, to come to professional learning and engage in that together with their team, for team meetings to happen more frequently among centers, because it's not often that you can both get pulled out of ratio to have a team meeting during work hours. There's so much complexity with the current situation.
Yeah, I would be remiss to say that there is a way if you're creative.
Yeah.
Because when I first started, we didn't have protected programming time.
Yeah.
We didn't have, certain things covered. You can get creative. Staff
where there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah. Where there's a will, there's a way, right? Staff appreciation is a big thing.
Yeah.
And that doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be like, oh, we're having dinner or lunch, or we're going out after work and socializing, and like, ask your team. Yeah. Because love languages.
Yeah.
I work the same with gratitude.
Yep.
Right. So know your team. Like, what ways do you feel valued and appreciated? Is it, do you want me to come in and spend a half an hour with you in your program? Is it, you like a coffee every once in a while?
Yeah.
You need the words of affirmation. Not the good job, you're doing great, sweetie, but like actually concrete, genuine. This is what's going on.
Yeah.
You just gotta kind of learn your team. I'm sure I'm not everybody's cup of tea in my team. I'm sure some people are like, oh, Erika, right? But like, yeah, you gotta be authentically yourself a little bit too. And I think my whole team knows how passionate I am about professional learning. And it's not like I'm sitting there like, you have to be as passionate as me.
No.
But like, maybe I could just like give you like a little slice of the pie. Yeah. Right. About how you feel. And yeah, I've been met with resistance before. And you're going to always be met with resistance. Unfortunately, it's just, you kind of got to figure out a way to make it work. Yeah. Another thing that we do in our team is we have a, oh my gosh, what is it? A staff communication app, let's call it that. Yeah. And it has different channels, and one of the channels is professional learning. So I will go on every once in a while. I know when the Strive calendar is coming up, I'll say, hey guys, put in your calendars. Strive calendar comes out at this time. And when it's launched, then I start going through it and say, hey, I think this team would be interested in this. I think this team would be interested in this, or check out these. Go on early child and webinars. Yep. Hey guys, these are some things I think some of you would be interested in. And that way you're also kind of saying like, I want you to buy in because I'm buying into your growth too. Yeah. Right.
And I think that feels a little less overwhelming than just receiving the Strive booklet and flipping through like, oh, what do I want to do? What do I want to do? When someone's like, hey, I've noticed that you're interested in learning more about this. Here's something I found. It just feels a little bit easier to engage than just like staring at Google being like, where's professional learning about this?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. When you look up, look up certain things, and it's like, is it based on our regulatory body? Like the resources that you're pulling from, right? That's why
do that questioning.
You gotta go through things. But I know I've come back from PLs and people have been like, well, that's never going to work. Well, yeah, well,
not with that attitude.
Right. Well, but like, yeah, it might not work, but why won't it work? Right. Yeah.
And I think that's a different mindset too for folks of, like a bit of that growth mindset. and that resistance to change, I think naturally we're programmed to be comfortable and not want to step outside that comfort zone, not want to change things. And, you know, that's working fine. It's whatever. Whereas if you're one like me or you who are like, ooh, let's try it. And if it doesn't work,
we'll try it again.
Or we'll try something else.
Or we'll try it a different way.
Or yeah, exactly. We'll adapt. We'll keep trying. We'll keep changing. You know, it's so easy to get caught in these like negative spirals of like, that could never work. This is there. I can't change this. I can't change that. It's like, okay, but what can you change? What is in your circle of control?
Yeah.
And how can your mindset support that?
So actually, I read a book once about using the environment as the third educator in the program. And that's like the first thing they talk about is if you walked into a room that was checkerboard floors, purple paint, and lime green cabinets, those are things that you can't change. Like you will never be able to change those things. But like, what can you change in your space? Right. So like, how do you distract from those big?
Yeah.
That's a very bold room.
Very bold.
I distinctly remember that example. And I was like, oh,
yeah,
I would be in sensory overload if I walked into that space.
Yeah.
But yeah, you have some things that you can control. And one other thing that you control is the way that you respond to things.
Yeah.
Right. The way you react to things. I can't change what you're going to say.
Nope.
But like, that's something that I've been working on my practice a lot is like, I can change the way that I say things. A lot of people that know me, I have a naturally sarcastic tone to my voice.
Yes.
And I can be taken the wrong way a lot of times.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then it's circling back and being like, you know, and this is something I learned from a professional friend I have. It's like circling back and being like, you know, I don't feel comfortable with the conversation that we just had. And I used to just be like, walk away and be like, you know what, I'll just
won't talk to them again.
You'll get over it. Right. So I feel leaders really, if like you could take away anything from the conversation, it's you need to reflect in your own practice and how you engage with professional learning and what policies and supports you can put in place to best navigate it with your team. Yeah.
Because I mean, you also have the added layer is that your center is in Middlesex County.
Yes.
Distance is a factor.
Oh,
Right?
distance. Time of events is a huge thing. One of the biggest things I would say is time. Not just time to get to places, but your personal, you're taking away your personal time to be part of professional learning 1,000%. So if you have a young family at home, I don't. Yeah. And I will fully admit that.
Yep.
I do not have a young family at home, but I also do have a second job. I do have my own business. Yeah. Right. So that is time taken. Well, not for much longer, but
but you also have
taken away.
A husband, a pet. You have a father who's elderly. Like you have other things in your life too. Everyone has stuff in their life.
My mom is chronically ill. Yeah. So yeah, like those type of things play a toll in my life too. Yeah. So I'm not up here on my soapbox being like, yep, you can do it. Yeah. Just like, don't check in on your parent for a night. Like, come on. No, I'm not saying that. But like time is a big thing. So for Middlesex professionals, like we are seeing that virtual events are the way to go. But then there's that added, like, how engaging can a virtual event be for some people, right? And are you giving all your attention in a virtual event?
I can say with confidence that when I attend virtual events, I am always doing something else on my other screen.
Yeah.
And I know that about myself. I do much better personally attending things in person and engaging in conversation in person. Because if I'm behind my laptop, I have a second screen where I'm doing the other 17 million things I have to do. Whereas if I'm in the room engaging in conversation, that's my full attention.
But then why?
Yeah, I know.
But why? If you can time chunk your day,
I can't, Erika.
If you can time chunk your day to be in an in-person meeting, why can't you give that virtual space the same attention?
Oh, you're right.
I'm guilty too. If I'm in my office, I'm filing paperwork. I'm doing stuff too. But At home, sometimes I'm doing a virtual event, I'm cooking. I also live in Middlesex County and I've been there. I used to work at a center that I worked till 6 p.m. and then I had to be in London at 6:30 for professional learning. Leadership. This is why it's important to know if your team has professional learning and building that rapport around professional learning with a team, because if it just means shifting that educator schedule for one day, if your team can't be accommodating to each other for one day, there's a bigger problem that you guys need to address. But if it's like, I really am passionate, this educator's really passionate about this, and like I can't get there if I don't have taking out that transportation is also an issue.
Yes.
You have a means of getting there.
Yeah.
You just
need more time.
You need more time to do it.
Yeah.
Like just is it that big of a deal?
Yeah.
Right? Like
in the grand scheme of things.
In the grand scheme of things, one day.
Yeah.
One day.
Yeah.
But
okay. What is, I know you have
I'm always nervous when you smile when you're thinking of a question.
Do I do that?
Yeah. You're like, what? Okay.
You have a wall in your office with a lot of folks that you've seen in person, inspiration wall.
I do.
If you had to pick the most impactful professional learning you've attended that has transformed your practice, what would you say it is?
He's not on my wall. And it's Mike Massey.
Okay.
Yeah. So I do deal with a lot of anxiety, a lot of self-doubt. I do have a lot of negative self-talk, which is why it took me so long to get on this podcast.
Yeah.
I attended, Mike was it originally it was the virtual winter rethink the first time, or was it virtual system?
What was the first time?
I want to say it was the virtual winter rethink. I think it was the
maybe.
I don't know. Anyways, I saw him virtually and I was like, this guy is hilarious.
Yes.
If you've never met Mike, just on a
watch the podcast episode. He's
so funny. He is so funny. And I will often say, and I have his cell phone number, so sometimes I'll text it to him. We're just gonna Mike Massey it, okay?
Yeah.
And that's our way of saying, anxiety lives. Mike's famous quote, in what might make could or already has happened.
Yeah.
So I use that a lot in my reply. I'm not going to worry about this today. This is something that I can't change. So much so that my husband, who's never attended a Mike Massey session, has never seen it. Well, he's seen it because I play him at home. We did our center itself, did a couple sessions with Mike as well. But he's not on the wall.
He's not on the wall.
He's not.
Honestly,
I keep him in my back pocket.
Well, he might be slightly offended. I'm going to hope he listens to this and then texts you and was like,
this one? Sorry. I'll put you, I can't take down Nicolette Souter though. That's the only thing. I'd put him dead center, but
there you go.
Maybe
you'll need another frame like on your desk.
Yeah, but it's a 9x9. I can't. Just an individual frame of Mike.
Just a picture of Mike.
Is this your husband? Nope. That's my husband over there.
Yeah, that's Mike Massey. That's equally as important in my life.
Like so much so that like even I do say to my husband all the time, I'm like, is that a future Ryan problem? Because my husband also is a high stress job. Often lines of work home life balance are blurred a little bit. So we do have that conversation a lot. Like, okay, this is catastrophic thinking. Yeah. He's like, okay, Mike. So we're just gonna Mike Massey. It is kind of like
your slogan.
My slogan in all things that have to do with navigating those thoughts and stuff. Yeah, because I used to be a spiral thinker, keep me up all night long. I should have said this. I could have done this. What if I had said it this way? And not just in my professional life, my personal life too. Yeah. I'm very thankful. Like my best friend is someone that like unapologetically honest with, and it's saved our friendship a bajillion times. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not comfortable with this conversation that we've had. Yeah. So. Yeah, no, Mike. It would be Mike.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought that was going to be harder for you.
No.
Okay.
No. There are some great people like up there. I do have Darcy Lang.
Yep.
I've seen her lots of times. I have her books. For those who have never, go check out her stuff, but she does focus
or
on
stay tuned. There may be something coming.
But she talks about focusing on the 90%. What a magnifying, if you've lived your life with a magnifying glass in front of your face, what that would look like. My like all-time favorite quote from Nicolette Sauter about having children go outside during all weather. Builds resiliency, where happiness doesn't hinge on sunshine. That is my dead center one, because how many times do I think, we have to go outside?
Yes.
Yes, you do. Unfortunately, that is not an Erika or a Heather rule. That is a ministry rule. You are going outside, my friend, rain or shine. Who else I got? Mina B up there.
Yeah.
Dr. Jean can't not have Dr. Jean. Stuart Shanker's up there. Yeah. Kristen Day.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like just a 9 by. It's now the backdrop.
It is.
So if you're ever on a leadership, if you're in a leadership meeting and it's virtual, it is now my backdrop of my office. I rearranged my office. But yeah, I've had that for a long time. But at one point, Allie, did you know that it was only childcare theorists? Yeah. So at one point in my career, this is why I will say professional learning isn't always just prescribed learning. I had a program, actually, she is still our program advisor, go, why do you just have childcare theorists from like a bajillion years ago? And why are they all white males, not to...
Old white males.
Yep. And Maria Montessori. Yeah, right. And I was like, yeah, you know what? You're right.
Yeah.
Right? Like, okay, it's cool that I have like Frederick Frobel up there.
Sure.
Good old father of kindergarten, right? Cool. But like, is that reflective of my values, of my, well, yes, what they should be. Like the basis of childcare theory. You should also agree with all those points. But what else is there? What else is there?
Love that.
So yeah, a little fun fact.
I'm mindful of our time.
Yeah, no worries.
And look at your notes. Anything we didn't cover?
Oh, that's another thing, I guess. Meeting your team's learning styles.
Okay.
So we talked about knowing your team's love language.
Yep.
But then you also need to know you also need to know your team's learning style. Right? So we talked about that flexibility of professional learning.
Yeah.
And we talked about, Allie, why can't you fully invest in virtual learning?
Yeah.
Or, a virtual meeting. Well, does that meet your learning style? Right. Are you a hands-on learner? I don't know how many times I hear we need more hands-on stuff.
All the time.
We need more foundational skills. But like, how do you do that?
Yeah.
By engaging those are people that are hands-on learners that want that, right? So it's cool if we wanted to do a, professional learning around songs and circles. It's great if here is, if you're happy and you know it, click next slide.
Yeah.
Here is what a traditional circle time looks like. Click next slide.
Yeah. Right.
Or is it you literally lead a circle time?
Yeah.
Like we did at Winter Rethink.
Yeah.
I will never get rid of circle time or the art of morning meetings or songs and stories.
Group gatherings.
Yep. They have a bajillion and one names. So much so that my team knows that I have a silly suitcase and the children know that I have a silly suitcase. It is a gaudy cheetah print suitcase that sits in my office. And it's full of those like things I made early on in my career, puppets, storybooks. I change it every once in a while.
Yeah.
For someone who doesn't have children at home, I have a million things in storage, like books I'm set if I ever do have children. Like I'm not buying anything. It's all down there.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I don't mind being silly and engaging in songs and stories. I know this morning I supported toddler program, and I was signing a child in, and they're like, they wanted a certain song to play. I'm like, well, they wanted the happy song. I don't know if you guys know the happy song. It's
like Pharrell Williams.
No,
happy?
no.
Oh.
Like the "This is my happy song. I like to sing it all day long."
Okay.
Oh, they are obsessed with it.
Okay.
But I was like, oh, we can sing it.
Yeah.
We don't need to play it off of Apple Music.
Right.
I can sing it.
Yeah.
And then that turned into this group gathering where we sat there for, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes singing all different songs. And
yeah, I think it's so interesting how our learning mimics the children's learning.
mm-hmm.
You know, if you have worked with children who are hands-on learners and you are not, how are you supporting that child?
Mm-hmm.
That's like same thing we're trying to do, is provide a multitude of experiences to support everyone's individual so that they learn best.
Mm-hmm.
And it's complex and it's hard because sometimes that's not always available in adult education,
Mm-hmm.
the same way it is for children's education. But I think, like, we've kind of talked around this, but almost everything is like the mindset that you have going into things of like, okay, I'm not really an audio learner, but I'm going to try this podcast episode with Erika and Allie because it sounds like really super interesting, and just try it. Yeah. And maybe there's other strategies and tools you need to put in place to make it successful for you. Maybe it is that you're note taking during it, so you can't do it while you're driving, or maybe it's that you do need to be doing something like driving while listening. I listen to audiobooks, like I'm an audiobook gal, and I do it while I clean up the house at night, while I'm making my son's lunch in the morning. Like I do it while I'm doing other things, and that's how I listen best. But for some people, like Amy, one of my colleagues, she's like, I can't focus. I miss parts of the story if I'm doing anything else. So it's trying things and trying different strategies within those things to try and see if that will work for you.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like you can't try something once and expect it to work. Yeah. Right. Like when we think about children and transitions and change and implementing new strategies, if you did it once and then never did it again, of course it didn't work.
Of course not. Yeah.
Of course it didn't work. Right. Like, oh, I tried first then, but it didn't work. Well, how many times did you try first then? Did you say it once and then the child's like, yeah, out of here?
It's like, I tried going to the gym once and I don't have a 6-pack.
What?
I don't understand.
Yeah, 6-pack's made in a kitchen, not necessarily a gym in my man. I want to get there, but like, it's this, and I don't know if it's like the society that we kind of live in, where this like instant gratification, like things take work and things take time. Yeah. So if you're like, oh, that didn't work. Well, of course it didn't work. Look at your mindset towards it, right? We'll try it again and again and again. And guess what? Maybe on the 15th time, it works.
Maybe.
Right?
Yeah. Okay. One final message to leaders around supporting a culture of professional learning.
Invest in yourself, and in turn, you'll invest in your team.
Mic drop. Done. We're done. We don't need any more.
Yeah, that's it.
Thank you, Erika.
No, thank you.
I feel like we could continue to gap for like maybe 17 more hours.
I mean, I feel like we could, but then it might get a little too much.
They might get bored of us.
They're like, okay, enough. We don't need to hear this. It's like, get over it.
But if you want more of us, also let us know, because you can always come back.
Sure. I wouldn't mind.
Okay.
Also, I would be remiss if I didn't plug our professional learning committee for Middlesex County. We are still actively looking for some committee members to kind of round out what Middlesex looks like. Yeah. I heard yesterday someone called Middlesex a hug.
It is.
Yeah, but I've always referred to it as a yolk. Like the egg, London, Middlesex. So London is the very dense yellow yolk, and Middlesex County is the egg white around the yolk.
Yeah, okay.
We are very large.
Yes.
I said this last night in our town hall. If you drove from Park Hill to Dorchester, which is like the span of Middlesex County, you would probably listen to this podcast 2 times over. Yeah. So, yeah.
It's big. Geographically
big.
Very, very large.
Yes.
Diverse, rural. Technology factors, travel, there isn't public transportation in a lot of areas. Like it's just, there's a lot of complexities.
A lot.
And we want to you want to hear all those voices.
I do.
So that you can make sure.
Yeah, we want
the royal we.
The royal we want to make informed decisions on what is being offered in Middlesex County so that it's responsive to the needs of the community.
Yeah.
Especially because the community is so large. Yeah. Because you could look at like most professional learning opportunities right now are like Kamoka, Strathroy based, not so much anymore, because we are seeing that decrease of in-person session attendance,
more virtual,
but where could we make
where else?
Where else?
Yep.
What
is it
we
Lucan? Missing? Is it Dorchester?
Yeah. Is it Park Hill? Is it Glencoe?
Yeah.
Right. So there's Elsie Craig. We forget about all these tiny little towns and little sub hamlets that make up the great Middlesex County.
Yeah.
So I would say if you're interested, if you are a leader or even someone on your team that is passionate about professional learning, that's how I started out getting into professional learning committees. I was not a person in leadership. I was an educator working on a floor with a director that believed in my voice. Yeah. So I would say reach out. Reach out to Kelly Smith from the county. Yeah. She can put you in contact with me as well.
Yeah.
That's it.
Amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Bye. Thanks so much for listening. You can connect with us on Instagram at Leading Inspired Learning Pod or on our website at striveswo.ca/podcast. I would love to have you tell a friend or colleague about this podcast. Thanks again for listening. Please join us next time.